I'm about investing, which is still a gamble, right?
Well, it's not the same as playing craps.
Right. There's a lot more, there's a difference between, reckless risk taking and calculated risks.
Yes.
So anyways, I mean, I bet on, I'll throw $10 on the Masters usually on like a random guy. I'll do fantasy with my buddies, more for like.
I hear you.
ball
No,
busting and shit.
I got you there.
Yeah. My parents now, it's a different story.
Every parent's a gambling addict.
Oh God.
My mother loves the slot machines.
Yeah.
But working at the casino, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
Working
no
at the
doubt.
casino cause I saw a lot of shit.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
gonna
oh
get into
man,
it.
you must have a whole different lens than I've
we're gonna
seen,
get into
you know?
it. You set right? All right.
Rock
Ready
and
to rock and roll?
Yeah, dude,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Looking for the perfect grooming experience for your pup? Welcome to Carley's Fairy Tale Dog Grooming, located at 8 North Main Street in Pittston. We offer boutique-style grooming with a focus on quality over quantity. Your furry friend will enjoy a cage-free, stress-free environment where they will feel comfortable and pampered. At Carley's, we make sure every dog leaves feeling and looking like royalty. Call 541-410-9582 or stop in today to book your appointment at Carley's Fairy Tale Dog Grooming. Welcome to DiMattia's Food Fight Podcast. I'm your host, Brian DiMattia, and we are here for our monthly Fight for Life episode. I'm here with my new friend, Kyle Popish from Blakesley, Pennsylvania, hailing out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, specifically West Side, correct?
West Side.
You got to make the little,
Ride till we
you got
die,
to make
baby.
the single.
Right
You're automatic with that.
Oh, yeah.
I did that in my Maroney's video, and some people noticed it.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going to think I'm throwing up fucking gang signs?
Well, I mean, technically it is, but
But it's just West Side. It's not really a gang.
it's not like a gang.
Yeah, it's more like Maroney's burnt
right.
cheese on top gang, you know? But Kyle, welcome to Food Fight.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, dude.
We connected about a month ago. I know I always, every time I advertise for my weekly episode, every Thursday the show comes out, I always share as much as I possibly can. When I share the picture of me and my new guest, I always ask people, hey, if you're a restaurant owner or a foodie or looking to share your Fight for Life story, reach out to me. And you reached out to me.
Yeah, dude.
And here we are. That's how we get guests for the show. I mean, I reach out to people as well, but I like it a lot when people reach out to me.
Sure.
Because that shows pure interest in sharing their story, coming on here and sharing their story, and then I get to learn something as well.
Definitely.
So we're going to get into, we're not going to be discussing any particular restaurant today or anybody's, there's no hoagies on the table, which I wish there was,
I dropped the ball.
It's okay. No,
Benny's up in Peckville.
I had plenty of
should've
time.
brought it.
I had plenty. Ooh, yeah, Benny's is good. I had plenty of time to get food as well, but
Yeah.
sometimes I think more about the discussion. I get nervous before every episode.
Okay.
Every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Right.
Got to be on today. I got 2 episodes today. So hopefully things go well. Hopefully my guests have a good time.
Yeah.
So we're here for our Fight for Life episode. We're going to discuss addiction, specifically gambling addiction. I have my own background, almost 10 years in the casino business. I was never officially addicted to gambling. However, I stopped myself from getting because it'd be easy for me. There's a reason I don't gamble at the casino every day. I go once a month because I can live in there. I love gambling. So, Kyle, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your background. I know we share, we're both personal trainers. You just got NASM certified. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I found this successful. I watched a lot of YouTube videos while I was studying.
While you were studying?
Yeah, Kyle, tell the Food Fight crew a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. So, as you had mentioned, born and raised in West Scranton, lived in Scranton the majority of my life, educated in the Scranton School District. I attended Lackawanna College after high school, got a degree in criminal justice. Bounced around career-wise from there. So this is kind of where my story starts to get a little off track, if you will, for your traditional went to school, got the job, married the wife, got the house, everything like that. So I remained in the Scranton area. I got some dead-end jobs, I call it, in healthcare at the time. Really wasn't enthused about it. It paid decent for the time. Along that time, I got really, really in debt in credit card debt. So I had student loans I was paying back, credit card debt, made the unwise decision to get a job in 2009 that paid $12 an hour. So I thought I was loaded. So I bought a brand new car.
You bought a brand new car, $12 an hour?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
What year was that?
2009 or 8 maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
So I thought I was just like balling, you know what I mean?
Balling, baby.
Yeah. No kids yet, nothing like that. I'm like, oh, I'm living the life, right? And around that time is when addiction kind of picked up for me. So I was actually involved in an accident my freshman year of high school. I went to Bishop O'Hare my freshman year, and I was involved in a golf cart accident.
No shit.
Yeah.
Of all the things.
Of all the things. So let me give you a piece of advice, and for anyone listening as well, if you've never ridden in a golf cart before, golf carts are not all-terrain vehicles, and they are not designed to be all-terrain vehicles.
Stay on the path.
Exactly, right. So, so a buddy of mine, his family owned, I'll just say a golf course in the Scott Township area. 14 years old, a bunch of guys. We got a couple cases of beer somehow. We went in one of the trailers in the back, and we decided in this drunken stupor to go get some of the carts and let's go racing around in the middle of the night. So we went up into the mountain area. At this point, I lost all recollection of what happened. I remember getting to the top of the mountain, but that was it. And auditory, like I could hear some different things. Like I feel like I could hear him when we were going down the hill yelling, "Oh shit, oh shit,
I understand.
oh shit."
Yes.
Yeah. Long story short, I was thrown out of the cart down an embankment. The cart came down on top of me. I was life flighted from the mountains of Greenfield Township to CMC. I don't remember anything except for in that, 4 or 5 hour period, I guess, them putting the catheter in me at the trauma unit. Because that's something you don't forget.
Well, I had a scope of my bladder done once. So
okay, so you get it. Yeah.
I do.
Not
I
pretty.
Do. I'm clinching as
right. Yeah.
we got to get Brian involved in that. No. Okay.
Yeah. No. That's an experience I don't ever want to go through again. But anyways, yeah, I woke up a couple days later. I thought it was the next day. I found out I had the severe brain trauma, broken ribs, broken shoulder. I was walking with a walker for a few days. So anyways, the point is throughout high school, I really didn't get into the party scene because I was really afraid to. I didn't even get my driver's license until I was 18 because everything turned me off about all that stuff, right? I was just so scarred by this moment.
I understand. I feel PT. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing you want to do is 16 now. You're excited about getting your driver's license. But you're like, I don't want to drive.
Yeah.
Is that what it was like?
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to drive. I didn't want anything to do with alcohol because as most things as human beings, our brains are giant association machines. So I'm looking at alcohol as this, and I associate it with this terrible experience. So I was totally turned off by it. So fast forward, get out of high school, go into college, and when I was around 19 is when I started getting into alcohol again.
What was your decision to get into? You're out of high school, now you're graduated.
Yeah.
Party, get together.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm in the mood for it.
Right. It was kind of like one of those things where, so I always hung out with a group of friends that were older than me. So by the time I was 18, 19, they were already 20, 21.
Oh, okay. So before they all turned 21, it was easier for you to turn it down. Was it peer pressure or just, I just want to do it? That's how it was for me. People were like, oh, you were pressured to do it. No, I just wanted to smoke that joint.
Yeah.
Drink a beer. Take a cool cigarette off my father.
Right. Yeah.
Not peer pressure. I just fucking wanted to do it.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think especially as young boys, we have this sort of belief when we're young in the adolescent era that it's like, oh, I want to be like the cool guys. I want to be like the older guys. I know I thought about that with sports. I saw the older guys and I was like, oh, I want to be just like them. And so that's definitely relevant, that peer element of it. But no, it really wasn't like that for me. It was just like, hey, the guys were doing this. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And as you know, with addiction, it's extremely progressive. So that's how it started. Weekend parties, having a good time, so on and so forth. One thing in hindsight that I could tell, or that I could see, I should say, is that I always took it to the extreme to where my buddies didn't. And I didn't, in the moment, we don't see that. We don't know that, right? I was always the one who got way too fucked up. I was always the one who was doing something outrageous when he was hammered, right? Everybody else was just partying, having a good time. And it's like, oh, Kyle's scaling the roof again or something like that, right? Something crazy. So
there's always one at the party.
Yep, and that's me. Yeah. I was at every party, and believe me, people knew it. So early 20s, now I start going out, so I get the fake ID, everything like that. I start going out, and that's when cocaine got introduced into my life the first time.
It's a hell of a drug.
Oh, hell of a party drug, right? I always think of the Rick James.
Yep, hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug. So it was very recreational. Again, the progression, recreational in the beginning. I actually used it early as a tool to keep drinking.
Oh yeah. For those don't know, I mean, I'll tell a quick story. I mean, in the middle of York, a quick story about
please.
that exact moment. I'm down the shore 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I am being carried back to the room because I'm so drunk. Passing out. Leave me alone. Let me die. Friend comes over with a little line of cocaine. He goes, here, put it up your nose. I don't know how I put it up my nose, but I did. And then within 2 seconds, I zipped right off the bed.
Yeah.
The alcohol left my body, which it didn't.
Right.
The cocaine just took it over.
Right.
And to go from, think about that, to go from literally, I just let me pass out and die on my bed from how drunk I am, spinning, to within 2 seconds being up, walking around for the next 12 hours.
Yeah. Oh, it's like superhuman
The next
health
12
juice.
hours.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. My stomach's, I get a little knot in my belly when I think about it.
Oh.
It was the one drug that I loved to do, but I also hated to do it. I never wanted to do it.
I feel
until
that.
it was around, and then I was buying it later on the night.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't say no to it if it was in front of me.
Right.
That's what my addiction did to me.
Dude.
I didn't seek it out, but if it was in front of me, I'm going to stare. I'm going to flirt with that a little bit, and I'm going to bring you home with me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There was no women at the party or bar anymore. It was you got locked in, right?
Shit. Go ahead.
Dude,
Here we go.
well, that's awesome, Brian, how you say that, because I literally felt that in my soul when you said that. Because
it's
I could
one
relate.
story. It comes out of me quick. I'm like, I got to tell it because you don't know what that's like until it happens. And I'm still amazed by it to this day.
Yeah. It's an extremely powerful drug, especially for those susceptible. My learning of addiction, more of the neuroscience behind addiction, you see people that have that untreated ADHD, OCD, and they tend to lean more into those stimulants, right? So you think of Adderall, for instance. Adderall is one molecule away from methamphetamine.
That was my addiction.
Yeah.
Heard my story? That was my year and a half of addiction towards the end. That's why I burned out with.
Right.
I would take it for days. Cocaine, your body's shutting down.
Oh, yeah.
Adderall, it's different. Meth is different.
Right.
I'd be up for 3 or 4 days in a row consistently for a year and a half. And then I would sleep for a couple of days because I didn't have any more. My body was done with it. Then I would do it. I would feel like death for about 20 hours because all the dopamine, everything's off your brain, right?
Sure.
But then I just do it again.
Yep. Yeah.
It was disgusting.
It really
was a whole different experience.
Yeah. It's so, and you and I now have the clarity and the time away where we could see this, but when you're in it, you just don't understand the redundant circle that you're in. And I can't tell you, Brian, how many times I've sat in my bed, 10 o'clock in the morning, 2-day bender, heart's going 130 miles an hour, teeth are grinding, legs are twitching, completely convinced I'm going to die. Like, this is it.
Feeling like,
God.
And then we do it again.
Yeah. Well,
If that's where you were going with it. Yeah, I know you were going with that's
it's
insanity
insane.
of it.
Yeah.
I used to wake up on the floor of my apartment. Used to wake up, see where I'm at, front door be open, I look outside, car is running outside. Maybe the door's open this time, right?
Right.
I go outside, turn the car off, lock it up, come back inside, close my door behind me, look into my pocket, get more Adderall, take it, and think to myself, whew, what a night.
Yeah.
That's
back at it.
and not knowing what happened for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I used to wake up in the middle of the night. I woke up the one time next to me was
I love this. Let's hear it.
Next to me was a bowl of spaghetti.
Okay.
And sauce, not meatballs in there, unwrapped Cadbury eggs.
Oh, nice.
So I managed to, in an Adderall blackout, in the middle of the night, I managed, talk about a food fight.
Right.
I managed to get up, make pasta, unwrap 3 of the best candies ever made, Cadbury eggs.
Of course.
And put them into my bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
And place it next to me by my recliner, and then pass out on the recliner to wake up to that.
Yeah.
What the? And then I don't think anything bad about that. I do it again and again and again and again. I mean, how many blackouts did you have?
Oh, my God.
How scary is that? How irresponsible on our part is that? We're lucky we're both here.
Yes.
And we're not in jail doing a food fight for an episode.
Dead. Yeah.
Because I blacked out and got a DUI. I blacked out and I smashed my car into the lamp factory down here on 315 next to it. And that didn't wake me up. That made me ride out the summer. Oh, I'm getting ARD. Let me ride the summer out. Yep. When I get ARD, I'll eat my prescribed Xanax, and then I'll be fine after 3 months. I'll be done with it. I'm in Luzerne County. I can even drink if I want. I'm in Luzerne County.
Sure.
It's crazy, but it didn't last.
Right.
I got arrested again in Lackawanna County. Got put on treatment court. That's where my next chapter began.
Yeah.
But the blackouts, the irresponsibility, the not caring over and over and over again.
Sure.
I did it for years.
Sure.
What was your style like?
Well,
how long did that last for?
I'll tell you, man, reckless would be an easy way to describe it. You know, my friends that I grew up with and guys I'm still close with to this day, they used to compare me to Michael Myers.
How embarrassing! How crazy is that?
Oh my God!
Would they compare you that while you're in your addiction?
While I was
you probably said like, "Oh, I get to live. I have to be that way now."
Well, yeah, I kind of.
So why Michael
took some
Myers?
pride in it. So they.
That's what I was getting at.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Absolutely, because you got to remember, man, addiction's not just about substances. It's a complete personality type thing, right? And
people paying you attention.
Yeah, exactly, right. And most importantly, you know, when you successfully enter into recovery, you start to realize that you're actually hiding, right? I used to tell people all the time in my party scene, I'm not addicted to the drugs, I'm addicted to the party. What I found in sobriety and recovery is I wasn't addicted to the party, I was addicted to escaping reality. I hated being in reality. I hated everything about the anxiety, the depression, the anger, the sense of control, and the, you know, jolt of, hey, you don't have control. It felt like I was walking around all day long in shoes that didn't fit me. And that's the best way to describe it. Yeah. And it was just a very uncomfortable feeling being in my skin. So it wasn't an addiction to the party scene. It was when I'm in the party, I'm not in life. Right. But yeah, I mean, they used to say that about the Halloween, and I laugh. They would quote Dr. Loomis, and they'd say once Kyle got to that point, it was usually Kettle One vodka and cocaine. Once Kyle got to that point, there was nothing but pure evil behind his eyes. And that's how they would describe it. And they said I used to get this stare and this gaze that the lights were on, no one was home, and no one knows how we're going to control this once it goes off. And that's pretty much what it was like. Now, that's when I was still hanging out with the guys I grew up with, right? Just like addiction, your circle of friends progresses, not in a great direction.
So your original circle,
yeah,
guys that were a little bit older than you, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
They just have a normal party lifestyle. Go out once in a while, but then they turn it off.
Right.
And you were the one that wasn't. Anybody else join that club with you out of that group?
Not from that group. No, not from that group. Yeah.
Why do you think? I mean, I know what the answer to that. I mean, not everybody gets addicted to everything.
Right.
Right. Was there a time where they started to seeing you getting further along than them? They tried to stop you, or was it just part of the party and it was too late?
I think it was a combination of things. I think there were some life factors that went into it, right? So some of them got married, started to have kids, got careers, right? They were focused. Now, remember, at this time.
How old are you?
I am 38 right
Okay.
now.
All right. So how long, how old are you in this? Your early 20s?
Yeah, I would say
we're still
between 22, 24.
Okay, so we're still there, 21, 22. Okay.
Yeah. So I think at that point, a lot of them started building a life for themselves. And remember, I was kind of working these dead-end jobs, and I felt very insecure, right? So I'm starting to see a lot of these people in my lives put their life together and start to build. And here I am going to my dead-end job, making $12 an hour, stacked up with debt, feeling like there's no direction here. And that's where I gravitated towards that alcohol and the drugs, is because I felt so numb. Like I didn't have to worry about direction. I didn't have to worry about where my life was going, any of that, you know.
Think about that choice.
As far as what went into it? Or?
The choice that you were, because I had a similar choice as well in my addiction. So I'm getting at yours is, and let me know what you think about this. Like you're at like, okay, I'm at a dead-end job. Bills are stacking up. Maybe I should look for a second job, get a better first job, be careful with my finances. But instead, let's let the addiction spiral.
Yeah.
And I was there too.
Sure.
I was there too. It's like you're at a crossroad, but then it's like, well, I don't want to get sick from not getting fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? That's a lot more. I'll just party one more night.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
My breakthrough, my downfall was when my friend told me that I was first time ever dope sick off having Vicodin. I was going to the bathroom, my belly hurt, a headache, right? Sweats. Didn't know what it was, that I was sick.
Right.
Told me you're dope sick from the Xanax withdrawal. I'm from the Vicodin withdrawal. It's been a couple of days. That's how many I've been taking.
Yeah.
So right there was my opportunity to be like, whew, I don't want to feel this way anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Right.
Instead, I said, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I'm not going to run out of Vicodin.
Yes. Yeah. Got a better plan. Yeah. Figured out plan number 2.
And that, I was sitting I could picture it, sitting in my mother's house back in the day, this little bedroom, sitting there watching TV, sick as a dog. A friend calls me, see what I'm up to. When he tells me that, I get off the phone. I'm like, I'm never feeling this way again.
Right.
I found supply after supply after supply.
Yeah.
And then that's what it was like for
and think
for
of
a
the
long time.
insanity behind that. So a lot of that has to do with the instant gratification with how our brain's hardwired.
I didn't want to be. Go ahead. We'll
well,
get
no,
to that.
right.
Yeah.
It's that instant gratification, and that's a key hallmark component of addiction. When the brain shifts from impulsively doing things to compulsively doing things, and we need that instant now, right? So when you're in addiction, time does not move linear. It's what's in front of my face right now. So I have an option, like you had said. I could start putting in some effort, cleaning up the resume, start looking for some other jobs, maybe get a part-time job, maybe manage my money a little more. But that requires effort, and that requires time. And I don't want that. I want to get feeling good now. So what do? I shift all that energy focus into pursuing my addiction. So like you had mentioned, you had the energy, you had the pursuit and the drive to do these things because you did it, but you found 15 different dealers instead of one to make sure you got backups.
I knew if I put the effort into my drug addiction, I could have a really fun drug addiction.
Sure.
Compared to putting the same effort into my life and having a really good life.
Yeah.
I thought I could have both.
Right.
I could be stoned.
Sure.
And pursue the lifestyle that I want.
Right.
Well, that only lasted for a little while longer. We're both athletes. We're both athletic. We both lift weights, all that type of stuff, right? I told before, the moment my addiction won is when I left. I put the dumbbells down in the middle of the shoulder press, left the gym to go pick up my drugs. Because before that, I used to wait till afterwards.
Sure.
Maybe go home and eat first, and then go, hey, I'll see you later on tonight.
Right.
But at that point, I was only lifting because I was closer to Scranton.
Yeah.
Go meet my dealer, hoping he would page me or call me because I was closer. That's like, let me go up there, hang out for an hour and a half.
Absolutely.
See what happens. And then he would get me. And then I left the weights on the ground. I walked out. I had to come back in for my keys. That's where my brain was. That was it. That was it. That was over for many years after that.
And you want to know something? So through a lot of the experience I've had with clients, I try to paint this picture for them when they're in addiction. When you're in addiction, the things that brought you pleasure in life prior to the addiction taking over don't go away. They just turn gray. So I use the analogy, imagine walking through a garden, and it's just this huge garden with floral bouquets and so on and so forth everywhere, but it's all gray. And out of the corner of your eye, you catch this rose bush, and it's the most bright, beautiful, vibrant rose bush you've ever seen. It sucks you in. So everything else is still there that brought you pleasure, the gym, food, women, family, whatever, but it just doesn't captivate like that rose bush. Successful recovery is about painting the picture to the garden so that everything brings you life and you don't have that salience, that strong hold on that one thing, But that's what I totally, again, our paths are very similar. Once my addiction took over, my health and fitness stuff went right out the window because it just didn't fit. And it was secondary now. It was not priority number one anymore. I tell people this all the time, especially people that I'm working with that have kids. My oldest daughter was 4 when I got sober. And I have no problem admitting this. When I was in active addiction, I loved her more than anything in the world, but she wasn't my top priority. She was not my top priority. My top priorities were, when is her mother coming to pick her up? Is this my weekend without her? So I could just go on a tear, and it's hard to admit that stuff, but there comes there comes a coming to peace moment in your life when you get into recovery where you can come to peace with things from your past and they don't sting and hurt you anymore, right? You come to peace with them and you can move on beyond them. But yeah, dude, everything in life takes a back seat when addiction's got you.
I agree.
Plain and simple, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I can talk about it. I have been for years. It's important. 2 people reached out to me after me and Keenan's episode. Hey man, thanks for sharing that. Get me clean today. Just hearing that from one person.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
It's huge, man.
It's great when you hear that just from one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your guys' story saved me today. And because there's been tons of stories I've heard over the years that saved me as well.
Sure.
You know, and I always come back to, maybe you could agree with me, at the point where I want to get to where your sobriety came into play. Finally, we'll get down to that, and then we'll turn the page, and then we'll get into you helping people. There was that breaking point for me when I got put in jail. That was it. And when I woke up, looked around, and I said, okay, I'm not coming back. I'm never coming back here. Never coming back here. I forget the exact point I was trying to make, but we'll keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Where was the time? What brought you down to your knees and enough was enough?
Sure.
Because I'm sure there was other times where we could both sit here now and be like, that should have been enough.
Oh.
That should have been enough.
Dude.
That should have been enough. I should have told my mother sitting in the hospital with me while I'm handcuffed to the bed after my DUI, because I wasn't drinking, so they had to do blood. I'm laying there, handcuffed to the bed.
Right.
Telling my mother, I'm just tired from working at the casinos. We're going to start getting to that because my hours were like 6 a.m., 6 p.m. to 3 in the morning. So she worked those hours at one point too. So she knew it was easy for me to lie to her. I'm just tired, Mom. I'm not up for a 3-day binge from New Year's Eve.
Sure.
I'm just tired, Mom.
Right.
She didn't want to see it.
You're exactly right. Because she knew.
She knew.
She just didn't want to see it.
She didn't want her baby to be that way. I'm not blaming her by any means whatsoever. I put her through hell.
Sure.
My breaking point was her crying and me seeing her what I put her through when I got arrested again. That was my bottom, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was crawling through the tunnels underneath my rock bottom.
Sure.
You know, I was trying to find a way out. The only way out was taking responsibility. I know I was going to say now. I got to the point, Kyle, where I was in rehab. I couldn't wait to go. I'm like, please, fucking drop me out there.
Was this your first trip to rehab? Or?
First and only.
Okay, yeah.
I should have went there.
Where'd you go?
Clearbrook.
Okay.
I should ask my mother while we were in the
alumni.
hospital. I should ask her. I go, I need to go. I need help.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that opportunity. I didn't take advantage of it. But when I got in trouble 6 months later, I told the police that. I go, I need help. My hometown police, Old Forge, God bless them. I need fucking help. Yeah. They weren't assholes about it. They helped me through the whole court system. I got put on treatment court, got my life back. But I wanted to get better.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in rehab for the first day. Why are you here? Because I want to be. That was the answer I gave. I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't think of anything else. I want to be here. I need to be here. And it wasn't easy. I withdrew from Xanax for weeks. That was my, and then Suboxone.
Oh, that's vicious.
Well, I took
dude.
Suboxone real fast. I took Suboxone. My drug dealer, I was eating 30 Vicodin a day. My drug dealer gave me Suboxone one day.
Right.
I got high as a kite off those fucking things for
dude.
years. Then they stopped working. So now I had a Suboxone addiction, but now I went to Adderall afterwards. The devil always finds his way into your life.
Yeah.
Oh, those Suboxone are not working anymore? Maybe this could be a clear path to getting better. Oh, wait. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Oh, I'm just driving by. I see your car. You want some Adderall? I'm like, what?
Got this for you now.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I was never I was an upper guy.
I was always the downer guy.
Right.
The upper guy ate my soul away. It ate my soul away.
It's exhausting.
The shit I was doing, the times I was up, the crazy things, the shadow people.
Oh.
Man, I had names for the shadow people.
I was so paranoid towards the end.
Think about that. Up for days, man.
Dude.
The whole world's against you. You're hallucinating. I was hallucinating phone conversations. You know what's fucked up?
Yeah.
The next day, you know whose conversation part was there, but theirs wasn't?
Just you.
10, 12 random text messages. The people I haven't talked to in a while, or I do talk to. And it got to the point where like they just know I'm fucked up and I'm embarrassing myself, but they don't say anything because they don't care.
Yeah.
Or they do care, but there's no point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going off on the tangent.
No, that's good. I like that.
Man, oh man. So what was like, the DUI was enough for me.
Sure.
I tried to sneak out the whole summer before ARD started, getting fucked up, living my life, trying to scheme and scam, right?
Right.
Well, going to jail and facing 10 years. Also on top of my mother being upset as she was, embarrassing the family, embarrassing myself. That was it.
Yeah.
I needed to get better, and I paid my penance for years getting better.
Sure.
What was it that your last day?
So, the mid-20s was a crash course. Once I got divorced at 26 or 27 in 2016, everything went downhill hard.
Did your addiction play a role in the divorce, or was it a whole other thing?
No, I'm sure it had some. So here's the other thing too, man. I was beyond active addiction. I was an active asshole.
Okay.
Like I was a shitty human being.
So your addiction was just automatic.
Yeah, the addiction was kind of like a byproduct of me
and then being miserable, going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
Always trying to scheme and scam. That will make you an asshole.
Oh, sure. And I was extremely self-centered, and I only cared about what I wanted, and I only did things that benefit me, and so on and so forth. So that played a role. But no, once I got divorced, it was free for all time. Frat Boy came back out because I didn't have anyone to tell me what to do, when to be home, what to do, whatever the case may be. So then, a couple years of that, hardcore partying, the cocaine. I eventually got into crack cocaine because cocaine is a very expensive drug as well. So I eventually got into the crack cocaine scene. Alcohol stayed ever present the whole time. So the stopping point for me, actually, I have a cost of addiction story that I tell people sometimes. I remember when I was in rehab, I told a story, and I heard some of the other people's cost of addiction. I'm like, Jesus, I don't even want to tell a story because I kind of feel like an asshole right now. But I'll never forget this. So I got sober in August 2018. This was July of 2018. A buddy of mine, his cousin, and another mutual friend, we got tickets to see 311 and the Offspring play at the Pier down in Philly. Now, you're around my age.
Yeah, I know the Offspring.
Yeah, those guys were the best in the 90s,
Yep,
right?
yep.
I was raised on them. The Offspring, 311, I was huge fans, right? And I never thought I'd get a chance to see them live, let alone live together, right? So anyways, so we get tickets, looking forward to it, this, that, and the other. Now, at this point, I'm so deep in the addiction that I can't have alcohol without cocaine. It's like they're one and the same at this point. And I know how intense the cravings and the irritability and everything's going to be if I don't. But the guys I was going with weren't into that scene. So I had to concoct an idea. So we were driving down the turnpike, and I had a friend that lived in Philly, and I knew he could get whatever I wanted. And I came up with the bright idea. I said to my buddies, I said, oh, man, it'd be cool if we got some, weed for the show. That'd be awesome, right? Weed. It's just whatever. And they were like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, well, I happen to know a guy down here. You want me to call him? They're like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, dude.
Part one in play. Here we go. Things are working out.
Yeah, I set this up perfectly. So I texted him immediately. I'm like, dude, I need 2 8-balls of Coke as fast as you can get it. I said, and then give me some weed for these guys. I don't even care how much it is. So we get down there. We get to a Dave & Buster's. I meet up with him. Immediately start going at it, right? I started going to the bathroom at the Dave & Buster's, and I'll never forget. I was in the bathroom stall. You know how the bathroom cocaine trips go.
The CD case.
Yeah. So I'm in the bathroom stall, and I'll never forget. I saw, I'm assuming it was like a father bringing his son in. They were at the urinal, and I was like, I can't do this here. So I jump in the Uber. My buddies are at Dave & Buster's. The concert starts in like an hour and a half. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, I just got to go back to the hotel. I'll be right back. Got back to the hotel. I stayed in that hotel from maybe 7 o'clock at night until they got back around 4:30 in the morning.
You missed the concert?
Missed the concert.
Because you're blowing lines?
Because I could not leave that hotel room.
All right.
That's all I could do.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You snorted that first one.
And that was it.
Paranoid in front of your friends.
Oh,
you can't be in front of them.
And this is Philadelphia cocaine. This isn't West Scranton cocaine. This is a whole different batch of cocaine, right? So, yeah, you're absolutely right. One, I had to hide it from them. Two, nothing mattered. It didn't matter how bad I wanted to see the bands. It didn't matter. I wanted to be with my friends. It was nice weather. Nothing mattered. That freezing cold hotel room with ESPN on and me sitting there with these lines of cocaine out in the dresser was all that mattered. And they busted in. They came in at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I remember them seeing me. And they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, there's blow all over the table. And I'm sitting there like chewing my teeth. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I sat on that bed. They passed out for like an hour or two and we got back on the road. I sat there in the hotel bed just staring at the ceiling for what felt like 3 days, right? But that was a cost of addiction story. But anyways, so again,
what was the outcome from your group of friends? What was the next day like?
They kind of were like, well, we're just gonna act like we never saw that. That's kind of really how it was.
You hang out with them again?
Oh yeah. These like one of them is one of my lifelong friends.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. No, they didn't cut me off.
They were just
anything.
watching your downfall.
Yeah. And I think at this point, those guys, because now don't forget, this is about an 5 to 8 year period had elapsed from when I used to hang out with them. So at this point, they kind of knew because I was going out a lot.
I understand.
They put 2 and 2 together type deal. But anyways, so the last go at it for me, it was August 31st, 2018, about a month after that incident. The girl I had been dating at the time, she had moved out again. She probably moved out 4 times in 6 months because she was just so sick and tired of my shit. And I was sitting by myself in my apartment. I had a big old thing of Carlo Rossi, the $13 at the time, $13 wine. Because, I'm broke at this point because cocaine habits are expensive, man.
Hell of a drug.
Oh, hell of a drug. So I'm sitting there drinking that, and one of my guys that I buy from texts me, and he says, hey, I just got back from Jersey, re-upped. Let me know what you want. And I'm like, I'm coming right up now. So I went up to his house, hung out with him for, I don't know, an hour or 2 or so. It was the first night of college football. I remember that. I was hanging out at his house for a little bit, and he was like, it was midnight. He's like, dude, you got to go. He's like, you got to go. Like, I got stuff to do tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So I took 2 8-balls with me, went back to my apartment, and I sat in my apartment from midnight till about 9 in the morning by myself, just getting high. So at this point, again, the progression, the party was in the 20s. Mm-hmm. At the end, I was alone.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to be around me. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to tell people as a joke, but it was the truth. Like, I used to get kicked out of crack houses in Southside. Like, they would tell me, dude, you got to go. You're too much, right? I was completely alone. But the one thing I was avoiding, the isolation and the loneliness, because the party, I was with everyone, I ended up becoming anyways, because I became so connected with the drugs and the alcohol. So anyways, I'm in my apartment complex, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm hearing people walking around the hallways. Again, am I paranoid or whatever? And I'm looking out the peephole and I'm seeing like, oh my God, like people are going to work. I see my neighbors and stuff. And I realize it's 9 in the morning. I'm like, dude, it was just midnight 10 minutes ago, right? Like what happened? So I went upstairs into my bathroom and I remember taking a piss. And I remember my piss being those
yellow, like this page, right, man? Dark orange.
Orange.
Yeah. So dehydrated.
Yeah.
I lived that life, bro. I never used to drink anything.
I never saw it that orange before. And I remember looking at it. Yeah. Like it could have been blood for all I know.
Flashed back to, it's not caring.
No.
Being like, oh, have some more water.
Gatorade. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Be right back at it.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there in the bathroom and I don't know what happened, dude. I can't, when we talk about higher power stuff, I'm not religious. I don't believe in deity gods, anything like that. Everyone's welcome to their own views and beliefs. But I don't know what happened. I was sitting in the bathroom and my heart was going 300 miles an hour. And I'm looking at the bowl with my urine in it, which is basically like an orange. And I'm realizing I have no minerals or water or anything in my body. I can't stop my heart from beating. I'm kind of getting short of breath at this point. And I remember looking in the mirror at myself. And I remember accepting. I wasn't like scared. I was accepting. You're going to die right here. Like you finally did too much. Right. I used to joke with people and say, you can never overdose on cocaine. But I remember when I was in rehab, a guy came, he did like a small group from the outside. And he said, well, honestly, Kyle, I'd rather overdose on heroin because they could Narcan you. You overdose on cocaine, your heart just explodes. But anyways, I remember sitting in that bathroom and just thinking, this is it. And when this happened, this is what I call the voice of God. Obviously, I wasn't thinking deity or anything like that. But I got hit with this overwhelming sense of peace out of nowhere. And clarity, and a window opened, and I knew if I didn't jump through that window right now, that window will close and it may never open again. So I immediately picked up the phone, texted my ex-wife, who was a teacher at the time. Well, she's still a teacher, but she was at the Scranton School District, and I texted her, and my oldest daughter's name was Kennedy. I said, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tell me. Now, bear in mind, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. I said, and, we haven't had any communication all morning, so this comes out of nowhere for her. And I said, I need you to tell me, I need to see it in print. If I don't go get help, you're not letting me see Kennedy again. And I almost get like emotional because I could feel that when I was in that moment. And so she immediately texts back. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? You're scaring me. What's going on? I'm like, dude, like this window's going to close. I got to see it in print. And so she finally said, she's like, if you don't get help, you're not allowed to see Kennedy. And I was like, boom, done. So I picked up the phone. I called an outpatient center. I spoke to them. I said, listen, I don't know what's going on, but I need help. They said, come down in an hour. We'll do an assessment with you. The girl I was dating at the time, I called her. I called my manager at the time. I worked in sales. I gave them the whole rundown of what was happening. Long story short, went down, did the assessment. I remember doing the assessment with the guy at the outpatient agency, and I was like, you know, again, I don't know anything about sobriety or recovery or AA or anything at this point. And I was like, well, what do you think, man? I told him like my story. I said, do you think I need rehab? He's like, yeah, you need rehab, dude. I'm like, oh boy, all right. So I went to Clearbrook. And I like how you said what you said about being done. When I went to treatment, my brother drove me up. I remember we were going up 81, and it was one of those get real with yourself moments. On the surface, I had a lot of fear. I had this like, you know, how am I going to go to parties? How am I going to go to football games, weddings? Like my life's going to be over. I'm going to be
wedding comment.
Yeah. I'm going to be reading Bibles with old guys all night long now. Like I can't hang out with my friends, all that stuff, right? But when I got deeper into that fear on that car ride up there, you know what the scariest thing for me was? The scariest thing for me was who's going to be with me now in my head. That was the real insidious fear.
Who's going to want me now?
No, not that.
Oh.
It was more of cocaine and alcohol was my safety net. That was my
next person.
Yeah, I that was my safety blanket. Like I was a little baby. You know, the outside world to me was scary. It was dangerous. It was bad. Cocaine and alcohol saved everything to me.
That was your shield and your sword.
Bingo. Yeah. So now it's like, who's going to be with me now with these intrusive thoughts, these racing thoughts, this uncontrollable anxiety, this uncontrollable anger issues, uncontrollable depression? Who's going to save me now? And when I got to rehab, very similar to you, I got up there and I was just like, I don't care who you are, tell me how to live. Because I know intuitively somehow the drugs and the alcohol aren't my problem. My problem is deeper than that. I need someone to show me and reteach me at 30 or 31 years old, however old I was at the time, how to live. And that's when I fully engrossed myself in, you know, obviously the treatment that they provided at Clearbrook. And then when I got out of Clearbrook, I did everything they told me to do. I went right into AA. I got the sponsor. I did the 12 steps, started doing the service work, started doing individual counseling. Then I developed into the self-help genre, and then I got into the philosophy genre, and then I got into the neuroscience of addiction genre. And then before you knew it, I turned around and I was a drug and alcohol counselor. I'm like, what the hell just happened here, right? Like, I worked in sales for 10 years. I was convinced I'd never do anything else. Like, this is my thing. And one day, you know, I'm maybe a year or two sober at this point. I'm sponsoring guys in the program, having a great time doing it. Love seeing their life get better. Love connecting with them. And the gentleman who was my counselor at the time owned the agency that I ended up working for. And I remember saying to him, like, when are you going to hire me as a counselor? Like, as a joke. And he was like, well, when do you want a job? I'm like, dude, I got a degree in criminal justice. Like, I don't know anything about. I thought I have like a PhD or something, you know. Yeah, and he ended up hiring me, and I got all the necessary certifications through the state. Took all the trainings, all of the supervised hours, everything along those lines, and then boom, you know, fast forward, I'm a drug and alcohol counselor.
Talk about complete
change. Yeah. Like, where did that come from? I nowhere in my wildest dreams did I envision that as like my life, you know?
Genoa Wholesale Foods, supplying quality since 1947. For over 75 years, Genoa Wholesale Foods has been your trusted partner for premium food supplies. Specializing in services to pizzerias, Genoa also caters to restaurants, bakeries, delis, and bars throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. They proudly offer a blend of both private label and national brands, helping you find the perfect products to meet your restaurant needs. With local deliveries and the care of a family-owned business, they are committed to making your success their priority. Choose Genoa Wholesale Foods for reliable, top-quality restaurant supplies that keep your business running smoothly. Genoa Wholesale Foods, locally owned and operated for 3 generations. Call Genoa today at 570-823-6142 or visit them online at www.genoafoods.com. Once you realize it's over, the addiction's over.
Yeah.
Because it was never over for me, even though I detoxed myself off of pills 100 times.
Sure.
got rid of phone numbers 1,000 times, blocked people 1,000 times.
Got new phone numbers.
Yeah, I took a week off of work so I could sit home and detox myself off of the Vicodin while I eat Xanax and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Because the Vicodin is the main problem.
Right.
Not realizing that the Xanax was the main problem, but I always had the Xanax.
Right.
The doctor would overprescribe me on a weekly basis. Every couple of months, I would go back for a checkup. I'd be like, I need more. More. It was never, let's reevaluate.
Right.
Let's reevaluate. Let's go, okay, here's more. Here's more. Here's more. Right? It just never fucking stopped. And then I think about that. Think about the insanity about being alone, right? Like towards my addiction too, there was a couple people I would hang out with. We always hung out to use each other for what we all had.
Yeah.
They weren't real friends.
No.
My real friends I wasn't hanging out with.
Right.
I wasn't burning them. I wasn't stealing off of them. I wasn't torturing them. But I also wasn't around. So I wasn't really a good friend. You know, I missed out on my niece and my nephew growing up. Now, my jobs before that added to that because I used to work the weekends and everything like that. But then when I'm in my addiction, I chose all of that over all the time.
Yeah.
My friends would come over for us to go see a movie. It'd be like a Friday. We're going to the movies. We're going to hang out. They would come over. We'd be sitting there, maybe smoking some weed on the porch, hanging out. Yeah. And I get a text, hey, I got those Adderalls for you. And now I have to go into, oh, my belly's bothering me. I got the poops. I can't go to the movies. Going back and forth to the bathroom, just standing in there, putting on a show, because in reality, I don't want to go to the movies. No. I want the Adderall to come here. I want to take that. Then I want to go ripping and running for the next 48 hours before I go to work.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
See, it was nice of you to at least give your friends a notice, because when you say that, I remember one period I was at a cookout in a backyard. It might have been one of my buddy's kids' birthday parties. Yeah. And I was texting this girl who was connected with one of the dealers from Wilkes-Barre, and she was like, yeah, we just got a bunch of stuff. I just got in an Uber and left. Didn't even know I left.
Well, they were at my house. I had to get rid of them.
Oh, you had no choice. Yeah.
I was like, how am I getting rid of these motherfuckers?
I'll tell you what.
Time for you to go to the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm telling the guy, like, you can't come by. I'm around the corner. I'm going, if you come here, I can't get them from you. Yeah. I'm going to have to just wait 15 minutes. Yeah. And he's like, I'm coming. I'm like, don't fucking show up here.
See, I'll tell you what. You know what's awesome about that? Well, awesome. I say that jokingly, but how many times would a drug dealer be like, bro, if you ain't meet me now, I'm out of here. Yeah. So at least he was willing to like say, no, I'm coming and bringing them to you. Because I've had conversations with dealers who are like, if you don't meet me here in 3 minutes, I'm out.
I'm a half hour away. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I love you. Don't leave me.
Their drug dealers' customer service skills are not strong. They don't really care if you're satisfied.
They're in demand.
Right. They're in demand. Exactly.
All right. So we have your origin story. We have you getting sober, finally waking up. It comes down to like, it's just time to wake up. You had that window open for you in your bathroom. Whoever opened the window for you, somebody put that into your life. All right. Me going to jail, me waking up in jail, looking around. Remember getting pushed around in the courthouse and sitting in front of the judge with a tank top on and a pair of jeans because they took my jacket off me. I'm looking like trash. Thinking I look great. 170-pound string bean with no strength whatsoever. Going from even a couple of years before that, this big guy, always powerlifting, strong, lifting, everything. All right. Now you could blow me over. You could blow me over. Sure. With a feather. Sure. Right. You could sprinkle some of that seasoning on me and I'll fucking fall over back in the day. Right. Sure. And it didn't matter. I kept on getting worse and worse and worse. And I was alone at the end. I was alone at the end. I was in my house for 3-4 days on an Adderall binge. I would go out. I ruined my eBay business. I would somehow be able to go to work at the casino for 3-4 days in a row, dealing cards, thinking people are cheating. Hearing them count out loud. Yeah. Hearing this, hearing that. And I'm going to go to the boss and be like, listen, that guy's counting cards. Yeah. In reality, I'm going nuts.
Zapped. Yeah.
I only got brought to the office one time. I lied, said I took the wrong NyQuil or something like that.
Oh, sure. That's common. Yeah.
But it was just like, I would work 3 days. I had 4 days off.
Right.
I would start ripping and running on the last day. I'd be dealing cards.
Yeah.
High as a kite on Adderall. Going on. I couldn't be around anybody, Kyle, in the casino, except for the guests. Right. I go on break. I go sit in the corner outside and smoke cigarettes. It was such a sad way of life. I remember my nephew hearing my story for the first time on another podcast. He lived around the block. My brother's that's where I grew up. He goes, Brian, I feel so bad. Like you're on the floor of your apartment, blacked out, while we're up the street. I'm like, that's my problem, bro. That was the choices I made. And you don't need to make any of those choices. Right. No one needs to.
Right.
I never thought about it the way you mentioned it about being alone.
Yeah.
I was. I thought everyone was around me, but in reality is no one wanted to be around me.
No.
Even the drug heads I hung out with, they were getting tired of me.
Yeah.
Because I remember the one time I lost my lost my debit card, so I had to cancel it. Now I got no fucking cash. It's Friday night.
Right.
I got no ATM card. I need money to buy drugs. You know, you show your friends your bank account. There's money in there. I'll give it back to you on Sunday. I'll PayPal you it.
Yeah.
Give me some cash. No. So I was like, why won't you give me drugs?
Yeah.
I have money.
Right.
Disgusting.
Oh, I remember handing. I had these two really nice. I can't think of the name. It might have been Citizen Echo. I think was the name of the brand of watch. You know, $400 or $500 watches. Sure. Because I worked in sales. So
get rid of that for a
dude,
pill.
I remember handing the watch to a guy in Southside once, and I was like, I don't have the money. Just take this for now. Once I get the money, just hold it for collateral. And he was like, I don't want your fucking watch, dude. He's like, hey, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude. It's wild.
It is. It's sad. It's sad. So the casino has been brought up.
Yeah.
So let's get into this for a little while.
Sure.
So gambling addiction. I was a casino dealer for 9 years.
Yeah.
You ever see the movie? It's the best example. I hope you saw the movie, The 25th Hour, with Edward Norton,
That one,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, and a few other great actors.
Okay, I did not see that one.
Put it on your list.
Okay.
It's about Edward Norton's was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And this is his last day of freedom.
Right.
So the whole day he has to deal with his father, his girl, his friends, and figure out why he got arrested.
Okay.
So now his boss is
He doesn't know why?
He knows he got arrested, he got set up. He thinks he got set up.
Okay.
He doesn't know who did it.
Okay.
He goes through the beginning of the movie kind of blaming his girl. So it kind of sets the whole episode. Great movie. Brian Cox, the older gentleman, the actor, his name is Brian Cox. He was in
Is he Tommy Boy?
No, that wasn't that's somebody different you're talking about.
Okay.
But did you ever see on HBO there was that new show called it was a family like power show.
I stopped watching HBO after The Sopranos.
Best show ever made.
Ever made. Period.
Best show ever made. Anyways, so in the beginning of the movie, they show Edward Norton's character getting ready to meet his future girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was in high school. I think he was 19, she was 17, and she's playing in the playground.
Sure.
So he's standing there. This guy comes up to him in a suit, looking good, clean cut, gives him a phone number for like another drug dealer, I guess. And everyone was like, listen, he gives him drugs, sells them, makes an exchange, burns the phone number. The guy walks away. Mm-hmm. In the beginning of the movie, the way it started, Edward Norton is sitting on a bench looking over the ocean in New York City there in the city. Mm-hmm. And this same guy comes up to him. Now he's a mess. You know, things on his face, hair missing, dirty clothes, just looking like he's been doing drugs for the last 2 years on the streets.
Sure.
Asking Edward Norton's character, I need something. He's like, listen, I got touched. I don't do it no more. Get away from me. He goes, I'm going to remember this. Like, who were you to turn me down? Right, blah, blah, blah. Then you see him half an hour later, you see him, the progression. That was him at his worst. Then we go back into the movie, back in time. You see him probably just getting started out. Wall Street guy, suit, briefcase, everything going for him, right? And then it was drugs. And it was worse and worse and worse and worse. Then you get to the point where your whole career's over, your life's over. All you care about is the drugs now. Sad. I was the same way.
Yeah.
You were probably the same way too.
No, yeah.
Everyone, one way or the other.
When it comes to gambling, specifically in Hollywood, there are a bunch of good movies that reflect gambling. The bad side, I should say, or the downside of gambling. One that is arguably, for me at least, one of the most come-to-life moments is Mark Wahlberg, The Gambler.
Great movie.
Oh.
Great movie.
That scene, so again, and you and I discussed this prior to sitting down here, myself personally, I haven't been, quote-unquote, bit by the gambling bug. But I'll tell you, in the beginning, when he's in that underground casino and he's stacking up those chips, my adrenaline's rushing.
I play craps twice a month. Mm-hmm. I still get more nervous and more, at my point now in jiu-jitsu as well, I get more nervous when I start playing craps than I do before a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah.
And the jiu-jitsu match used to make me, used to kill me.
Yeah.
Now, I get fired up for a couple of minutes before I go.
Sure.
But craps, the whole time, I got this little pit in my belly.
Yeah.
I'll fire it up. I never knew how exciting craps was. Because I was dealing craps for a couple of years before. I never played it before. Mm-hmm. So I'm dealing craps. I never knew why these same people would play every single day until I threw the dice for the first time. I was like, oh, that's why they play everything, because it's so exciting. The point I was making before about that guy from the 25th hour was I've watched, over 9 years, I've watched people come to the casino for their first time, maybe gambling or whatever. And then you see them 7, 8, couple years later, 3, 4 years later. You see the downfall and progression of their lives, because now they are living in the casino. They're drinking more. They went from drinking. I remember these people because they're there every day.
Yeah.
I see them more in my own family, my own girlfriend, my own niece and nephew, my anybody.
Yeah.
I'd be dealing with these same people day in and day out. And the addiction is just, it's there's so much that goes into it. Then you bring booze into it and money and the casino atmosphere and the allowance to be a jerk off too. Because I dealt with a lot of assholes.
Oh, yeah,
and the casinos deal with assholes because they're spending money. There's a point they cross, but it takes a long time to get that.
Yeah.
And we get harassed for it. It was a fun job, but towards the end, it was a sad job.
Yeah.
It was a sad job. And there wasn't a lot of that going on there, but you see it everywhere. That makes no. I say that there's not a lot going on, but you see it everywhere. Well, there's 400 people playing blackjack. Yeah. Maybe 4 or 5 are the real fucking addicts, the crazy ones. I've seen it. I've seen girls punch their boyfriends in the face. Yeah. I've seen guys punch girls in the face. I've seen guys punch guys in the face. I've seen some guy. I'm dealing this table. This guy has, sitting in seat 6, he has table max, $1,500. The guy next to him has $10.
Oh, boy.
You know where it's going already.
Oh, yeah.
You know where it's going already.
That $10 guy's
the
in trouble.
Gentleman sitting next to the guy playing max tells this guy right here. He gets this. He goes, "Hey, bud, don't take a card. I'll pay you."
Yeah.
Perfect. That's why you're sitting down to play.
Yeah.
Because you want to win.
Yeah.
Here's $20. Sit the hand out. I'm not saying he had to do that. They were his cards. It was his money.
Sure.
However, you take a guaranteed win, right? So, guy has 11.
The 1,500.
The guy has 15. He has 11. This guy has, I don't know,
13 or something, or
he had a hand where he needed to hit because I had 7 or up.
Okay.
So he needed to hit.
Yeah.
But the guy wanted the card next to him. He goes, "Don't take a card.
Yeah.
I want to double down. I'll pay you your $10 and then we'll whack it up here." The guy looks at me and goes, "I'm not going to have people like you."
Oh, boy.
That want to sit down and play these big hands.
Yeah.
Tell me how to play my hand. What makes your money more important than my money? I'm like, oh my God.
You're like signaling for security right now.
Oh, no. Even though I was sober.
Yeah.
I still always love the chaos. I still always love the chaos, especially when it makes work more fun, right? Yeah. So here we are. And I'm like, "What do you want to do, sir?" He goes, as soon as he gets the finger, I have to give him a
You
card.
have to, right?
Boom, 10. He busts. The guy next to me goes, he's staring at him. He slides his double down up.
Oh, no, he still doubled down. Well, yeah, 11. But you had a high card? Like you had 17?
I had 7.
7?
I had at least 17.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it. Maybe. You always want to assume.
Yeah, right. You assume
But
that
11, no matter what, at 11, you double down on 11.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I guess you have to.
Every 11.
Okay. See, I'm not a gambler.
You should double down every 11. Even if it's a dealer's 10 card, you should double down on 11 because the 10s are the most dominant in the deck.
Yeah.
Anyways, the guy's staring at the other guy. He slides the $1,500 chips up for his double down. Now we got $3,000 hand. Oh, I drop, I don't know, a 4 or a 5. Flip over a 10.
Oh.
Cleans his clock.
Oh, I'm sure.
The $1,500 player knocks the other guy out off his chair. Here come the cops. There's already state troopers there everywhere.
Sure.
Here comes 2 undressed people from the slot machines.
Yeah.
And they tackle the guy. They arrest him. The guy gets up, starts freaking out, and they're going after it. Dude, that's what gambling addiction does to you.
Yes.
That might have been that guy's last $1,500.
Yeah. Oh, realistically,
there's nothing saying that guy was rich.
Sure.
Or was a millionaire.
Sure.
It could have been his last $1,500.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
He's probably still in jail.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it does, So gambling is very unique. So all right, so
let me set a little bit of the table.
Yeah.
Do you attack gambling addiction the same way you attack drug addiction?
That's a great question, man. That's a great question. I get asked that.
That's perfect.
Colleagues, clients, friends, anybody. All right, so let's look at gambling addiction first. So have you ever heard of the DSM-5?
Yes.
Okay.
The Blackjack Crew.
No.
Oh, shit. No? Why does it sound like it was the Blackjack Crew?
I think, hey, man, I think we should be having a different conversation.
Okay.
Everything's going back to gambling. No, so the DSM.
That movie Kevin Spacey was in with the Blackjack Crew? That sounded like their name.
It may have, but no, definitely not the same thing. Now you'll laugh even harder when you find out what it is. So the DSM.
I think Brian knows what it is. Oh, shit.
So the DSM-5 is the Diagnostic Statistic Manual 5th edition. So
I knew that.
Yeah. I figured that was your second guess, obviously, right? So the DSM. So what happens is the American Psychiatric Association gets together every 15 to 20 years or so, and in that 15 to 20 year period, they look at research, empirical evidence, symptoms, treatment, about this, that, and the other, and they develop a disorder. So there's a criteria, there's symptoms, and then there's a disorder. So the DSM-5, which is the 5th edition, which is the most recent, 2013, it's extremely useful for clinicians, for clients, for insurance companies, because now if things have a diagnosis, it's treated differently, it's covered by insurances, so on and so forth.
Kind of like addiction being a disease. We'll get to that next.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
We'll jump into that. We'll close out on that. I'm so sorry. Please.
No, that's good, because that's a great topic to discuss as well for me. So anyways, prior to 2013, gambling was actually listed under an impulsivity control disorder. So it wasn't grouped or coupled as an addiction yet. And then, as I had mentioned, after X amount of years of empirical evidence and so on, the American Psychiatric Association basically deemed gambling to be an addictive disorder. So it's right up there with SUD, substance use disorder. That changed the landscape, and it was really a hallmark for treatment of addiction, I think, as well, because here's the uniqueness is that, and gambling is the only behavioral addiction in the DSM-5. Now, I will tell you this. I know video gaming was on a watch list a few years ago.
That's fair.
And that's
fair.
Yeah, that's probably creeping up.
iPads for kids.
Sure. Yeah, digital. So 2013, they put gambling under an addictive disorder. And again, it's a behavioral disorder. So what I think from an addiction standpoint that was really, really progressive is, gamblers don't put anything in their body, right? So even old archaic viewpoints of addiction, even like when we were kids, I know when I was told from my parents when I was a kid, if you use heroin one time, you'll be addicted the rest of your life. There's no such thing as a chemical hook. Right? Anybody who ever has had a morphine drip from a surgery would be addicted to heroin. Anyone who ever had a sip of alcohol would be addicted to alcohol if there was a chemical hook, right? And gamblers don't put anything in their body, but they get just as high, if not worse, than the substance use. So again, 2013, it becomes an actual addiction, right? Then the question comes, well, how do you work with that, right? SUD, substance use disorder, and gambling disorder mirror each other in a lot of ways. So you have your typical, your cravings, your urges, your impulsivity, your unmanageability in life, consequences, legal, relationship, so on and so forth. But then there's some uniquenesses, okay? I say this to people all the time. And I don't mean, whenever I talk to a client that it's a gambler, I don't mean this in the bad way. But what I say is, gamblers are significantly sicker than drug and alcohol, okay? Every year in March, I attend the CCGP, the Council on Compulsive Gambling of Pennsylvania. They have an East seminar in Philadelphia, and I attend it. And 2 years ago, one of the presenters said this, and it stuck with me. I loved it. He said, heroin addicts are dope fiends. Gambling addicts are hope fiends. And I was like, wow.
There's every bet's a hope. Every bet's an opportunity to get back to even.
The opportunity. That's the key word I want you to remember with gamblers.
Yep.
So I took that quote and I kind of spruced it up a little bit when I explained it to people. I said, anyone who's ever been addicted to heroin could probably attest to this. So you could be staring, a syringe, we'll just say. So you have a syringe of heroin in your hand and you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, this is going to make me feel better now. maybe I'm dope sick or maybe I just want to get high, whatever. This is going to make me feel better now, but I know 25 minutes to a half hour, I'm going to need it again. And my life's not progressing. I'm not getting any better as a person, but it's just going to get me feeling good. A gambler looks at the press of a button or a line in a game and says, everything about my life can change with this button. That's hard to work with, right? So we go back to that sickness. Well, why is it that they're so sick? A gambler's level of self-deceit is so deep, they have absolutely no idea they're lying. None whatsoever.
Lying as in they're going to win next time? They're going to come out on top? What do they lie to themselves that is going to be that it's okay?
Right. So two characteristics that are prevalent in almost all gamblers. Egotism and entitlement. Okay? Egotism. Gamblers, I see this a lot with young guys. So men are primarily action bettors. Women are primarily escape bettors or gamblers, right? Young guys that are big sports bettors. These guys believe they have it figured out, right? Or think about a slot machine. How many times, I'm sure you've seen it, where somebody will stand in front of a slot machine for 3.5 hours studying every spin.
I see it more in and those machines are resetting every second.
Oh, yeah.
Every second.
Yeah.
If you say to yourself, oh, man, if I just pulled one more time, I would have won the jackpot.
Yeah.
That guy did. No, you wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
That slot machine, don't torture yourself that way.
Right.
That slot machine changed 140 times in the last 2 seconds.
Sure.
You didn't miss on anything.
No.
It's luck. I saw it more, Kyle. I saw it more on the dice table.
Okay.
The ones that think they could be dice setters.
Yeah.
The rituals.
Oh.
The same buy-ins. And I get that. I'm that way with certain things. I think like it's a human nature part of this.
Sure.
Some people don't give a shit. Other ones like OCD me. I like to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you get them. They're trying to set the dice.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, and it's just fucking. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
The slot machine, standing there watching the blackjack, the not wanting to play strategy, playing strategy, freaking out on people, and I just want to come there and have a good time, scaring away people. I've seen it all. Please continue.
Yeah. So again, when you look at that egotism, I hear the famous words of most sports bettors. It's a lock. It's a lock. They say,
baby, give me $200, Brian.
Everything.
This game's a lock, bro.
Yeah, it's
I got
a lock.
Yeah, I got it.
So these guys study the weather patterns, the turf that they're playing, the defensive
Girlfriend's
scheme.
kicker, all this bullshit.
Yeah, the offensive scheme, how this coordinator plays against that coordinator.
They see casino one time.
Oh, everything. Yeah, right. So they're so absorbed. And I outsmarted Vegas. I got this figured. No one is going to know this bet, right? And I would tell my sports bettor, okay, you do this, that, study for this, prepare for that. And then the first snap happens and Joe Burrow tears his ACL.
Just happened, right?
Now what? Now what? Everything you prepared for.
It starts to fucking rain.
Yeah. All that lock is gone, right?
Yeah.
So then we shift over and we look at entitlement. And this, you may have heard this term in the casinos a lot. I got to get my money back.
Yeah, my money back.
My money.
I'm not leaving until I get my money back.
Right. So
this is the casino's money right now.
That's and they don't understand that. That's what I'm talking about, the deceit. They don't understand that.
Oh, when they're up, they say, "Oh, this is the casino's money."
Yeah. This is house money.
This is house money. Yeah, we build our house with your house money.
Yeah, Vegas was that beautiful city or town of Vegas was not built on winners.
Dude, I was in Vegas in August.
Oh.
It's so everything is so expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's $25 cheeseburgers. The only place that was cheap, relatively, was Denny's near my hotel.
Yeah.
Continue with the fucking what? So what do you want now? You're on entitlement.
Yeah. So entitlement. So they get my money back, right? What I try to get gamblers to see is that money is the cost of your entertainment. Okay, or for other gamblers, the cost of your addiction.
Yes.
Right? So I try to use the analogy, it's like you go to the grocery store on Sunday, you buy all these groceries for the week, you get home, you put the groceries away, you wake up Monday morning, you drive back to the grocery store and you say, I'm here to get my money back. They're going to look at you and be like, excuse me, what? Like, no, you came in here, we gave you goods, you exchanged currency. That is not your money. Gamblers don't see it that way. That's my money, and I'm getting it back. I'm entitled for it. I'm due. I'm due for a big win. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not due for a big win. There's nothing that makes you due for a win more than it makes him due for a win, right?
Let me ask you this. I came to this conclusion for years of watching addicts gamble and being an addict myself. And then being sober in the casino business. True gambling addicts, they're not happy until they lose everything in front of them. That's when they go home.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes them go home. It's when they lose everything in front of them. Because think about this. They don't go home when they have thousands of dollars sitting in front of them. That's the prime time to go home.
Yeah.
That's when I go home.
Sure.
Right? I hate losing $100. But then you sit down with a few $100s. Then you're up $2,000. Then you dump it all. How many times did I see it happen? $200 hit a monster shoe, playing correctly, progressively overloading your bets, hitting the shoe of the century. Within 25 minutes, you went from $200 to over $2,000. Every card landed your way. Do you really think the gambling gods are going to allow it to happen again?
Well,
the odds are going to kick in, and you're going to lose all your money. But they don't think that way. I'm on a streak, baby. Today's my day.
Red hot.
Nothing can stop me. Oh, I just lost 10 hands in a row? No problem. I'm going to win 10 hands in a row. I wipe people out in just a few hands. I wipe people's rent out. They sit down and say, hey, this is my rent money. I need to double it. I push it back. I go, why don't you just go pay your rent?
Yeah.
And then
I'm trying to help you here.
Why don't you pay your rent? Scramble a little bit this month, but then come next month, you don't owe 2 months back rent.
Sure.
No. This is what I want to do.
Right.
Hey, fuck you.
So tell me this. What do you think that tells you about gambling?
It's so powerful.
Well, it's not about money. It is not about money. Anyone who's ever hit.
You think it's about power with it?
Oh, it's individualized. Okay. First of all. But gambling is not about money because of exactly what you just said.
Elaborate.
Anyone who ever hit a sizable jackpot, and sizable could be sizable to anybody. It could be $500. It could be $5 million.
Yes.
They'd walk away and they'd be done. They never are. They never, ever finish. And they leave when they've got nothing left. Right. So that's a telltale sign right off the rip that gambling is not about financial gain. Now, once you really get into it and you start to chase your losses, now you're trying to play catch up. But you keep reinforcing that belief that it's once I catch up, I'm good. I've seen people catch up and then go further down the hole. So it's not
back to even.
Yeah, right. It's not about money. So, so that entitlement, that egotism. And there's different ways the gambler's brain works in regards to reality and rationalization and justification, okay? What you had mentioned earlier is what they call the gambler's fallacy. So the gambler's fallacy is this narrative within their brain of odds. You know, I'm due to win because I did this. I watched this spin. I played this game, blah, 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 blah. So I'm due to win because all the algorithms make sense, right? And based on past performances of this, and this, I should hit, right? So the old, what do you call it? The litmus test, I think they call it. So I would give it, somebody that's coming to me that's not really breaking that mindset of like, I have a problem. And I'd say to them, all right, I'm going to give you a quarter. All right, I want you to flip the quarter in the air. And if that quarter lands on heads 9 times, what's the percentage it's going to land on tails the 10th time? What do you think?
I don't know. 1 out of 10 times. So 10% chance.
50.
You're right.
50-50. It will always be.
You got me on that.
Yeah, I got.
You got me on that one.
You might got a little more gambler than you think, Brian. So it's 50-50. It will always be 50-50. Gamblers do exactly what you just did. I've had guys argue me. Even when I tell them, no, it's 50-50, it's two sides of one coin. No, you don't.
It hits 10 times, so now it's got to land on tails the 10th time. Yeah.
Exactly. So it, regardless of any way you flip it, any math algorithm you want to make up in your brain, it's still 50-50. Gamblers won't compute that.
Dice are throwing the dice. Yeah. Is it not even 50-50?
Oh, that's like, I don't know. I'm not a math guy.
The reason sevens, you're going to roll a 7, 8 out of 34 times. That's why 7's the bad number.
Okay.
That's why 7's the bad number.
Yeah.
That's why the 4 and 10 pay more than the 5 and 6 because you roll the 4 and 10 combination less times on the dice than you do 5 and 9. The reason 6 and 8 pay less when you roll it than the 5 and 9 or the 4 and 10 because you can roll them more times.
Oh, okay.
It all comes down to there's 34 combinations of the dice.
Yeah.
And 7 or 8 of those combinations are 7s.
That's wild.
That's why 7's the bad number. That's why it always comes up.
Right.
Now, I've been part of an 1.5 hour roll on the dice table. The fact that this gentleman didn't roll a 7 in an hour and a half, probably 50, 60, 70 rolls is an anomaly.
Right.
But then people chase that forever.
Yes.
And the chances of that happening again, I'll never see it again in my lifetime.
Sure.
It was a perfect storm at that table. The people were playing right. The dealers were doing a good job, and people were getting crazy playing. But you don't see that every day. You see more a lot. And then you know what happened next? The next 5, 6 shooters, 7 out, 7 out, 7 out, 7 out. The dice are like, I'm tired now.
Yeah.
But it could be 50-50 though too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it is, to a degree, a numbers game. But like I said, getting people that are deep in that gambling addiction to see that is so difficult. Because remember what I said originally, their level of self-deceit is so deep that they have no idea. So another interesting characteristic to the thinking of a gambler is what's known as LDW, or loss disguised as win. So I use this example. I have a few different examples. One of them was the loser one that I want to talk about a little bit later on with some people I've worked with in the past. So I'm working with this older woman, sweetheart of a lady, and she comes in one day, and this is another thing about gambling treatment. Recidivism and relapse are significantly higher amongst gamblers than it is SUD, drugs and alcohol. Okay. So she comes in the one day, and face is beaming, and she says to me, she's like, Kyle, I'm trying to stop, but she's like, you don't understand, I won $800 this weekend. I won $800.
This is why I do it.
Yeah, right. Like, I got it. I told you.
She couldn't wait to tell you.
Right. And I'll tell you this, working with gamblers, the worst thing that could ever happen with gamblers, they hit a jackpot event. Yeah, because that reinforces the entire belief that they could do it. So she sits down. So I said, okay, sit down. So I'm gonna show you, and I guess the camera for the YouTube page will see it. But so I played good cop, bad cop with her.
Yeah.
So she sits down. I said, okay, $800. I said, you want $800? She said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, what'd you do with that $800? She said, well, I put about $150 back in. I said, okay. So minus $150. I said, so you actually only want $650. And she said, all right, well, I want $650. And her game of choice was the game of skill machines and gas stations. So oh yeah, Christ. They're a whole nother can of worms. But anyways, so I said, and would you, so $650. I said, so when you were walking by the game of skill, I said, was it screaming your name? It said, hey, free play, just press the button, no risk. She said, no, well, I put about 175 in. I said, oh, okay, so minus 175. I said, so you actually walked away with $475. Now, she's sitting there at this time, and she's kind of sinking back into the seat, so I feel kind of terrible at the same time. But I have to expose the reality.
You got to. She needs to realize.
Yes. So she, much like a lot of gamblers, there are companies out there that pry on financial incompetence. High-interest loan companies that don't care what your credit score is. Right. They'll give you the money.
And they even changed their regulations a few years ago, but these companies found a way to
loopholes
do it again.
Yes.
And it's a shame. These payday lones, all these different loans, some of their interest is 1,000% sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you're go ahead, I go off on that.
I get it. So she took out a $10,000 loan, personal loan at a 38% interest rate. So I said to her, 38% interest. Yep. So I said to her, I said, you're actually at 475 after what you paid to play and what you put back in. I said, and how much of that 475 did you put it into that $10,000 repayment loan? She said, none of it. So then minus 10,000. So I said, that's the number you're actually at. Negative $9,525.
That's not even adding the interest.
Oh, and everything else, the late payments, this, that, and the other. So the point I'm trying to make is it's a loss disguised as a win. Yeah. Oh, I won $800.
They gave this girl $10,000 at 38%. Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of the company, and I don't even know if I'd be able to say the name.
I know they exist. I've seen videos about them and how they prey on people, and it's like, listen, borrowing $20 till payday and paying $21 back, that's different.
That $10,000 is going to cost her $19,000 to pay back, and she'll probably never pay it back, unfortunately, because of things like that. So again, we talk about that loss disguised as win. Unless you are that 1 in a billion, once in a lifetime, that plays one lottery ticket, Powerball, drop $2 on it, and you hit the $450 billion cash prize. Mm-hmm. You will never be up.
Nope.
Ever.
There's been a few people in my career who never They would come in and play once a month. They never lose. $100. Oh, I'm good till next month.
Right.
The anomaly of them, but they stay there long and they're going to lose. I'm sorry,
absolutely.
It's hysterical. I'm good.
Right. So the statistical one of the statistical analogies I saw, which was great, was, and I think the jackpot might have been $1 million. But the statistics of getting bit by a black bear, a polar bear, and a brown bear on the same day was higher than hitting a $1 ticket for like $1 million.
Struck by lightning.
Yeah, twice in a lifetime.
So at Mohegan Sun, we had the they probably still have them, Blazing 7 jackpot.
Okay.
All right, so it's a $5 bet. Bet $5. I hit the light, take your $5, put it in there. Thank you very much for that $5.
Yeah.
So $4 of that goes to the jackpot. The other $1 goes to the house. So we're always making money, right? That jackpot's gone to $1 million before. So you need to get 3 7 of hearts or 3 7 of the diamonds dealt to you. 7 of diamond, 7 of diamond, and then my card for the dealer, 7 of diamonds. You win the jackpot.
Right.
Obviously, there's other variants. 3 7s, 3 like 7s, 3 7s of spades. You get 10%, whatever it is, right? This guy's playing blackjack, middle of the afternoon. He gets the 3 7s dealt to him. He's getting ready to win the jackpot. He hands his ID over. So instead of them coming out with a check for him, here come the boss with the state police. Well, this guy's been on the self-exclusion list, never took himself off of it, thinking it was automatic. Like, no, even if you sign up for a year, for the self-exclusion list is you sign up and you are no longer allowed to play gambling in Pennsylvania anywhere. It's
you can't be in the casino.
It's a crime for you to go into the casino. And depending on what level, you are telling them that, hey, if I go in here, you can arrest me and put me in jail.
Sure.
So it's a good program. It definitely helps people. But this guy thought he was, after the year was over, he was automatically off of it. Well, he wasn't. It was about maybe a couple $100,000. Well, the state got that money. We got nothing for it as far as the tip goes. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
And then he went to jail.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well, and there's something really, really important to talk about with that state getting the money too at some point. Here, and I could tell that happened a long time ago because here's one of the...
That was like 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
So check this out. This past year, the PA Gaming Board, now you don't need to request to be off the list anymore. Once your time's up, you're automatically off.
It's too bad.
So that kind of, so they're kind of like making it a little easier.
I haven't been updated yet. It's been a while since I've gone to twice 2-year-long meetings every year. That's too bad.
Yeah, I've had about, when I was with the agency I was with prior to leaving back in October, I probably did about 20 self-exclusion lifts, where essentially you do a traditional gambling assessment. Most of the people answer the questions because they want to get off of it. You should hear some of the reasons as to why. I just want to go on a cruise and it's hosted by Mohegan. So it's like, but yeah, the self-exclusion ban is very effective, but it's starting to get a little loose with that, just allowing it to go over,
Gambling, I mean, if you're off the gambling for 2 years, like if you're an addicted craps player and now you didn't do it for 2 years and you're going to go throw the dice for the first time, I know what that does to me.
Yeah.
It's coming right back. I feel the same way. I would think the same thing would happen to me. Maybe not if I ate a couple Xanax right now.
Sure, exactly. Same thing.
I'm in recovery, Kyle, right? Not sober.
Right.
I smoke marijuana. I've had drinks over the course of 10 years.
Yeah.
I went 7 years stone cold sober.
Yeah.
But I'm in recovery from the shit that I had. I don't eat Adderall anymore. I'm not popping opiates. I'm not eating Xanax or Klonopin or other crazy fucking shit that turns me into a zombie and sets me off and then ruins my life. Like those are the things I was able to put behind me. And I used to hide the fact that I was on the medical marijuana program.
Sure.
The reality of it is, years ago, I just wanted to start doing it again. I tried it out and I did it, and it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine for my recovery.
Right.
My recovery is my recovery. Your recovery is your recovery. Right. I don't walk around. Here's my sober date.
Yeah.
Here's this. Here's that, because that's not true.
Sure.
But I'm also sharing my recovery and the person I became today from over 10 years ago, living in the gutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a huge progression. Recovery works in every possible way as long as it works for you.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion on that. Well, it could be, I know dry sober people who are fucking miserable.
Oh yeah. The dry drunk. Yeah.
20 years of sobriety. What did you get from it? You're miserable.
Well, how does that translate to a newcomer who goes to a meeting and sees a guy like that? I know there was a guy that was infamous in the Scranton area. I mean, this guy was brutal in meetings, like just miserable. And I remember thinking to myself, God, if I was like freshly in sobriety, I'm like, oh, that's what my life's going to be like. Get me the fuck out of here.
Did he used to yell at newcomers?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, I have had people like yell at newcomers and being like, "You don't know what's going on." Yeah, I'm like,
don't open your mouth for a year.
No talking for this long or whatever like that, man. If you're new and you're looking to go to AA, I recommend the hell out of it. It saved my life.
Sure.
If you want to share. Because sharing's not easy. You'll feel better after you do it.
Yeah.
If you're sitting back there and you're like, "Oh, I want to say something. Say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Get it out there, right?
Everybody in there, but then. You gotta listen to everybody with a little bit of a grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, take what do they say? Take what you need, leave the rest behind, right?
Exactly.
And I think even like multiple pathways to recovery. Obviously, I'm very involved in SMART recovery, Dharma recovery, CBT, trauma therapy, so on and so forth. I always say that there's room in the sandbox for everyone to play. And when it comes to recovery, only you're going to write the most successful recovery program for you, because addiction is not black and white. So no, sobriety isn't black and white either. So you have to take a little bit of each one and make it your own, as long as it's successful for you. And truth be told, I mean, unless you're on the court system, you get the opportunity to define what sobriety means to you. And sobriety looks different for everybody, right? And so when it comes to the gambling, that's a little different. Harm reduction, okay? The self-exclusion ban would be a form of harm reduction, obviously. For those that don't know, harm reduction is where do you pose the least amount of harm to yourself and to society. So in the traditional MAT, medically assisted treatment for substance use disorder, Suboxone, methadone, Subutex, Sublocade, these are medically assisted treatments that they help manage physical symptoms of a withdrawal, so you can put attention towards the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of your life. You start to put those pieces of the puzzle back together, and then you taper off the MAT, right? There are some old school people that don't believe MAT is sobriety. Again, it's individual.
Everyone's different.
Right. So now we shift gears and we look at harm reduction for gamblers. I have yet to see a truly successful harm reduction strategy for gambling that has sustained long-term, I don't know if we'd call it necessarily abstinence, but unmanageability with gambling, okay? So when I got certified for gambling, I had to take 30 hours of required gambling-specific training in order to be eligible for the certification. And one of the assignments was I had to submit a harm reduction cheat sheet or template, right? One of the ones I used was season-long fantasy football, okay? Because you wager a certain amount of money, and now you have to wait 17 or 18 weeks to find out if you win that money. So you're delaying the gratification, right? You're delaying the win element of it. Now, there's holes in that. What are the holes? When it comes to gambling, money is not always the main sign that there's a problem. It's time, the amount of time someone spends, preoccupation, researching, thinking. I remember in 2013, and I use this, I'm so happy I remember it, it's relevant. Bleacher Report released a little shot of information, and it said that there was an estimated $14.7 million in lost revenue across the country due to fantasy football. And I thought to myself, holy shit, that's so true. Because how many times have I been at work and the waiver wire hits and I'm scrambling to see it and I'm trying to get a trade with my buddy and I was like, let me get this guy. Oh my God, I just found out this guy. 25 minutes of my workday is gone because I'm staring at a phone. So that's a hole in the season-long fantasy, right? Because you're still using that time, right? It's not about the money and the instant gratification necessarily. Another one that I would use would be stock market, right? So you're putting in a wager, you're hoping for a return. But when you long-term invest, you're not going to see a return anytime soon. But now there's holes in that. We have things like cryptocurrency today. We have things like Robinhood.
Robinhood should be it's a crime.
Yeah.
It cost me thousands of dollars. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Sure.
Yep.
And you have day trading.
Yeah.
Right. So now all of a sudden you've turned the stock market into a slot machine. So again, there's holes in a lot of the harm reduction. Once a month, that Council on Compulsive Gambling in Pennsylvania, they hold a provider meeting that I attend. It's virtual. And one of the providers, I forget where she was from, she was talking about one of the clients she's working with who worked on a harm reduction technique with his wife for gambling. So what they were going to do was, once a certain promotion for a certain amount of money wagered was available through either app, whichever app he was using, his wife would look at it, and if she says, okay, you could do that, he would gamble. And then if he wins or loses, doesn't make a difference, you're done. What they found with this guy was incessantly searching app after app, downloading new apps, trying to find new ones to find the promotion and then this. And then he'd present it to his wife and she'd say yes or no. And I remember we were talking about it as providers, and I was one of the first ones that spoke up. And I said, with all due respect to the provider, I'm not, trying to say the way you're treating the client is wrong. But I said, this guy's full-blown gambling. He's full-blown gambling. So what are the three elements that we look at with gambling, specifically with things like slot machines and such? Opportunity, unpredictable rewards, easy repeatability, right? The faster our brains can do something, the quicker it becomes ingrained, right? The deeper and deeper it happens. So opportunity presents. Wife says, yeah, if you find the correct promotional, play, I'll let you do it. So here's the opportunity. I'm searching. Unpredictable reward. Hey, could I play it? Nope, that one doesn't look good. I lost. Hey, could I play it? Yeah, that one looks good. Jackpot, I won. He was full-blown gambling.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and he had no money involved. Another one are the free slot machine apps you could download on your phone. First of all, most of the clients I've had in the past that have used those have said it just doesn't hit the way
like
the other
playing
ones.
free hold'em.
Yeah, exactly. And that's understandable. But again, you're priming and keeping those neural pathways open in the brain. So you're never it's like when I tell people that are trying to get sober, neural pathways are like bridges. Okay, so the one bridge is deemed unsafe, state deemed it unsafe. Okay, and it's been there for 40 years. So construction crew is going to build the next bridge, and we want people going down that one now because this one's safe. If you don't demo that old bridge and you've been driving on that old bridge for 40 years, guess what? You're going to continue to drive on that old bridge. So if you keep those neural pathways open, it's only a matter of time before you shift right back over. So some of these harm reduction techniques, you want to meet the client where they're at. Obviously, you want very similar to addiction to drugs and alcohol. You want to let them kind of have that autonomy to say, well, I'm going to do this. But so far, in my experience, at least, I haven't seen many successful harm reduction techniques because gambling is starting to become one of those addictions where abstinence may be the only option. Right?
So many options for it.
Yeah. And, so that's it. It's difficult to kind of develop a program for somebody if they're saying, well, I could control it or I want to do, you could put barriers in place.
They're not ready to stop yet.
No, they're not. And again, those are some of the different intricacies and nuances within a gambler that you may not necessarily see in somebody with SUD or anything along those lines. But then we look at the systemic issue that's going on. You had mentioned this earlier when you first started talking, because most of your experiences have been casinos. People don't go to casinos anymore.
On their phones?
Yeah, we have pocket casinos.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when I was working because it took away from me.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, you go back in the day, you got to go to a bookie. You got to go to the bank, get some cash, go to the bookie. Now you have to go, you have to leave your house, go get cash, come to the casino, put the money up front in the sports book.
Right.
And then wait. But now you do it that was a whole opportunity to stop gambling. Now you have to, we're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I could talk forever about this. That's the thing too. There used to be opportunities to change your mind.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, it's a lock.
Yeah.
Boom. It's in.
It's right there.
I just made my bet.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. The accessibility right now is really, really dangerous.
Yeah. It is. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. And COVID really, I think, helped springboard that in a lot of ways. But you have to also look at the government role. Okay. I say this a lot, that I think the gambling epidemic is going to mirror the opioid epidemic. And sometimes people are a little like, how could you say that?
I don't disagree.
No. So when you look at the inception of it, they're very, very similar. Late 90s, pharmaceutical companies produce these drugs. Tell everybody, hey, non-habit forming, don't worry, you take as much as you want, this, that, and the other. Doctors get influenced, money starts getting exchanged in back doors all of a sudden, right? There was an article in the New York Post about a month ago. Did you see anything with the NBA players that got in trouble recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The state attorney general, Matthew Platkin, I think his name was, for the state of New Jersey, came out, first paragraph, because the mafia was involved in it. So it was illicit, illegal gambling. He came right out in the first paragraph of the Post and said, if you're a young adult in New Jersey, come here and gamble for free. Legally. Come here and gamble legally. Gambling is legal here. You do not need to go to these illegal crime syndicates to gamble. You can come here and take that as parental advice. New Jersey made $22 million in 2024 just off sports betting, just sports betting alone. That'd be like our governor saying, hey, don't be buying drugs on the street. Come to us. We'll give you all the Vicodin, all the Percocet, all the Oxys you want. Don't buy them illicitly, right? I'm thinking you're reinforcing the idea that it's legal, so I could do it. It's safe, right? Pennsylvania, 2024 made $6 billion on gambling revenue.
Think about that.
Where's the government's incentive to slow things down? It's not there.
Are we seeing, then where's our kickback as citizens of this state? Like, what the fuck?
Right. Well, where's that money go? Remember the old commercials like, benefit senior citizens. And there's a million potholes everywhere,
Benefit us some more.
Yeah.
Kyle, great conversation.
Yeah,
I feel like we're not done yet.
I know.
We're going to have to be.
Yeah, right.
Right. So maybe we get together, we could do part 2 or something like that together, or we could do something else together. All right. So Kyle Popish, I appreciate you coming on the Food Fight.
Thank you so much.
I got some take home guess. You're familiar with our Carley and Janelle's in Old Forge?
Oh, who isn't?
So you ever had their sweet sauce before?
I haven't.
So we got a jar of sweet sauce for you to take home with you. Okay.
Awesome, dude.
So it's they just started making it around summertime. It's
great.
It adds a different uniqueness to the Old Forge style pizza.
That's good because sweet sauce has always been my thing. So
where can the listeners reach out to you if they need help? Yeah.
So right now I am on Facebook. My name, Kyle Popish. I am also on Instagram at kpopish2. My Snapchat, kpopish2 as well. I am in the middle right now of working on building an LLC, a whole holistic health and wellness. I'm going to couple the addiction certifications that I have along with the NASM certifications for wellness coaching, nutrition coaching, personal training, behavioral change specialty, things of that nature. So I do plan on social media getting more aggressive over the next few months as I start to develop and build a little more. But yeah, I mean, anybody could reach out at any time on any of my social media platforms. I'm always more than willing to sit and listen and talk. If I'm not equipped or qualified enough to handle any issues that anybody may be having, I have so many connections within the mental health world or the addiction world that I could always get somebody set up with a resource. I feel like people need to know what's out there and what's available to them, because that's half the problem is people don't know where to go and what to do and what to turn to. So reach out to me, send me a message by any means, and I'll get you in the direction you need to go in.
Nice. I appreciate you sharing that. If you need help, reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kyle, myself, anybody, the person sitting next to you, your mother, your father, anyone. If you need help, there is help, and people do care.
Absolutely.
Somebody cares.
Yeah.
Somebody cares.
Definitely.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on
Thanks,
here
brother.
for our Fight for Life episode. This will be available for the new year. All right. So again, this is the Food Fight podcast brought to you by Conversion Works Media. We're here in the Conversion Works Media studio on 315 in Wilkes-Barre. Food Fight. Thanks, brother.
Awesome, bro. Thank you.